Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is time for the Monday Night Toypixx live chat or live stream, depending on how you want to go with it. I guess we're kind of doing both at the same time. So, for all you people checking this out in the replay, let me know, what do you think the long term impacts of these whole tariffs are going to be now that things have come down substantially? Now, my thought is it's going to continue to be kind of like this. I don't think we're going to look at anything crazy beyond 90 days because this is something that jacks with the entire world economy. And not only does China and the US have companies in those respective countries and politicians in their ears, but they've got countries and various population or various politicians from all those other countries and those businesses in their ears as well. So, yeah, worldwide economy, ladies and gentlemen, things are getting crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's just jump over right now to the chat. Let's see what Sci-Fi George has for us. Greetings and toytations, everyone. Greetings and toytations. Sci-Fi Jeremy from Four Horsemen sent out a text today about the All-Star 6 Wave pre-orders. They've received the containers for those. The all-in orders for all other... let's see. Oh, we've got the buttons. I am hitting the buttons. For all other orders, they're holding off right now until the tariff situation becomes more stable and lower. As I commented, as one commenter noted, the tariffs are currently at 30%, which is still a costly amount to swallow. It is, but it's a lot better than 145. So let's see what happens. It's pretty crazy. But now it puts the onus more on China. It's kind of interesting how this is playing out. Snail Shell is accepting pre-orders for a variant of their white-haired lavender lingerie succubus. This one will be raven-haired with red lingerie, and as an added bonus for an extra $15, let me guess. I'm going to guess. No. You'll get extra feet. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, here we go. You'll receive a multiple foot accessory set for all of you funky foot fetish freaks out there. Alliteration. Not like me. I'm normal. I'm only buying 5-foot sets for articulated study. It's science, people. Now, back to what have we? Back to Professor Dave and his uncanny Chatman. Chatman. I got it. Thank you, Sci-Fi. I appreciate it. And speaking of John, you, my friend, are not wrong. I had to pack recently. It ain't pretty. If you guys saw my tour of the office, the couch and the chair and some of the other stuff that were in there, those came from my apartment. Yes, friends, they are a permanent fixture at the office now. But yeah, packing's a pain. P.S. Motor City Comic Con this week. In Novi, Michigan. This is fair at the why can't I remember I'm thinking Showcase Showdown, but that's not it. Suburban Showplace, I believe, right? Anyway, I'm going Friday, so if anybody's going to be there Friday, let me know. That would be a good time for everybody to get together. Anybody in Michigan hanging out at the con. Woo! Hey, gang. Hey, Star. What's up, man? Good to see you. Water sucks. It really sucks. No! Because I have bubbly. And it's sparkly water. It's all carbonated and stuff. Delectable. What's everybody else guzzling this fine evening? Hello, Paul. Good to see you, sir. Ahoy, wreck ship. What's going on, man? Star, I just spoke with a guy at BBTS, and he was saying that this goes into effect on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Yep, there's a lot of interesting things that could go down here. This is sick. This is me being sick in the head. It's kind of exciting. I want to find out. I want to see how this all plays out. Stars, high five, spaded one, John Spencer, wreck ship, Paul. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Making the people feel at home because, ladies and gentlemen, this is home. This is a good place. This is where we can all hang our hats and drink our bubbly. And I'm talking actually bubbly, although if you enjoy some champagne, feel free. What have you, Star? Spade, Paul, Rat? Yep, there it is. Is good. Is good. Woo. Thanks, gentlemen. All right, what have we spaded one? I got my Jada Blanca in. Yes! Holy crap, so good. Between him and Sagat, I have high hopes for big boys like Zangief and Honda, and even higher hopes for Maine from Edge Runners. They nail the big guns. Yep, or biggins. I don't know. I'll go either way. But yeah, you are absolutely right, Spaded One. And I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't have Sagat, but Tony's a fairly large. Tony the Tiger's a fairly large figure. And obviously, Blanca's a fairly large guy. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to move this back and not make too much noise or make it too jarring for the people. But hey, you should be used to me moving the laptop by now. I have set up the webcam at the office. I just haven't called to get the Wi Fi appointment. It's been taking as long as 2 weeks to get people to come in. So, crossing my fingers. I can't cross my right hand very well. Hold on. My left hand, game on. Weird. But anyway, crossing my fingers, I'll be able to get it done way sooner than that. Let's see. Yeah, I can't wait to try more. And that mane should be very cool. And he's so stylized, it could be crazy too. Wreck ship, it will probably take longer than 90 days to process all the incoming shipments, let alone the manpower domestically to process and ship out that same stuff. We will see how it plays out. I totally agree, Wreck ship. There was somebody, was it John Morey? Somebody on my X account basically said the same thing, saying 90 days is just enough time to get the product over here that's already made. And I tend to agree. 90 days, if they try and push out more product, things are going to get rushed. QC is going to be so bad, and money's tight enough right now where if people buy enough crap stuff, they're just not going to go back, period. So I do agree with that, but I also don't think we're going to look at anything too crazy tariff wise. We're not going to go near 145%. Now, that's not, I guess that is me prognosticating a little bit. But the fact is, anybody that's more than 30 years old, I think, realizes that money talks, the economy is worldwide, and this 145 tax was not going to work. It's going to have to all come down. People are going to need to keep costs down. Corporations won't eat a lot of costs, and customers won't spend a lot more money than they're already spending. So we knew things would have to come back down. I'm just stoked that it came down as quickly as it did, and I'm hoping it stays about where it is. So we'll see, though. We'll see what happens. As always, the long story short, money talks and, bubbly walks. Just hoping the ceasefire folds for SDCC. I need my new reveals. Starman, you know what? With that kind of window in 90 days, if any of that stuff is ready to go for Jada or for any other company, they're ordering it now so they can get it in for CondaCon for SDCC for Comic Con. So right now, as long as the stuff is made or prototypes are done, hopefully they've got the time to swing it now. But we shall see. I mean, I don't know that end of everything so well. Let's see, since so many of my interests are of Japanese origins, I've decided to try and learn to speak Japanese. It's complex, making progress. Star, that's amazing, dude. I want to learn. I need to take enough of a refresher on Spanish so I can actually speak it. When I was in high school, we learned how to conjugate and write and all that, but for some reason, we didn't learn how to speak it very well. I don't know. We didn't have a very great Spanish program. But the next one I want to learn is Japanese for sure, and it's for that same reason. Especially when I'm ordering things from Amazon Japan and I can't read what they sent me. Spaded Sagata's basically the Dalsim figure scaled up to almost 8 inches with toe hinge. He's pretty much perfect, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I've heard that's really the only complaint about Blanca is the toe hinge, and I do agree with that. I think Blanca would have been better with toe hinge, but he's still pretty great. Star, as much as I'm excited for the tariffs to be resolved, I'm not excited for the massive flood of charges coming my way for everything I have on pre order. Well, Star, that depends on how quickly things will start to get sent in. Now, you know my thoughts that I think that we've hit the spot, we've hit a fairly sweet spot. Things might go up just a touch, things might go down just a touch. But I think, depending on what happens in the next 90 days behind the scenes, I think we're not gonna have crazy fluctuations. So hopefully, what'll happen is those pre-orders will still get to be spread out, and people will be back on a regular schedule. Because it's not. I mean, obviously, it's not just the toy industry that's hit. Every business leader in the world right now, every big time business leader, which probably doesn't count most of the ones that we think of when we're talking about the toy industry, is talking to the president and they're talking to China. What is it? Is it prime minister in China? Do I not know? Why don't I know who's in charge in China? That's a terrible thing. I need to get back into my whole learning things. Oh boy. What do we have, John? Let's see. Hablo un poquito español. Ah, you speak a little Spanish. See, I can write, so I can read it and kind of understand. I just suck at speaking it. I used to finish my emails with hasta because it was very open ended. Hasta means until, and it sounds way cooler than until. Oddly enough, I spotted two hinges on Honda and T-Hawk. Looks like they're giving the hinges to figures over a certain height. Now, I heard June say all the figures moving forward in the Street Fighter line would have toe hinge. Now, maybe I heard him wrong. Maybe he did say it had to do with height, but we haven't really seen, well, we did see Vega. What do we think? Did anybody notice Vega's feet? You foot fetishists, weirdos. Ooh, bubbly. Ah. All right, so let's get to. I want to just go to this thing real quick. This is not, don't worry, we'll talk Patreon here in a minute. But here is something that I grabbed from Dan Biesenmeyer. He posted this on X and I shared it. US and China agree to slash tariffs for 90 days in major trade breakthrough. Now I'm going to put on the glasses. Luckily, it's small screen, so I can do this. The US and China on Monday agreed to suspend most tariffs on each other's goods in a move that shows a thawing of trade tensions between the world's two largest economies. That's the first bullet point. Second bullet point, the deal means reciprocal tariffs between both countries will be cut from 125% to 10%. The US's 20%, duties on Chinese imports relating to fentanyl will remain in place, meaning total tariffs on China stand at 30%. See, and then the other is just some politician being all blah, blah about, hey, we did good. But anyway, yeah, so I think, okay, from a toy standpoint, from a worldwide industry standpoint, that still sucks from the Chinese point of view, I'm sure. But from the American point of view, the idea behind this is to curtail fentanyl from getting into the US from China. And I could see possibly, I mean, if things work how they should, how logic dictates, although politics and business never necessarily works when logic is involved. But if things work out the way that they should, based on what's happening here, China's going to start cracking down on people sending fentanyl this way. And so, in theory, the 30% will start coming down a little bit. But I'm guessing that's kind of what the 90 days is about. Let's see what China does as far as bringing down that fentanyl production or bringing down that fentanyl transport. Not that fentanyl has much to do with toys, I don't think. But I just thought it was an interesting read. I thought it was worth checking out. So, any thoughts on any of that stuff? What do you guys got? Star, do all figs carry the new articulation or just the Street Fighter figs? I don't remember, Star. I don't remember if he said all the figures going forward or just the Street Fighter figures going forward. I can't imagine something like Mega Man having toe articulation, but I could be totally wrong. Maybe he did say that, but for whatever reason, I'm thinking Street Fighter. That could be off. And it could depend on the license. Maybe, I mean, we've all heard how licenses make some things hard to do. So it could be that based on how much a license is, maybe they opt to not worry about toe articulation for figures that aren't necessarily like Maine doesn't really need toe articulation. He's not like a ninja. He's a big brute of a dude. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. I'm just not entirely sure there. So I guess when we're looking at this, and let me pop this back up so we see the so you actually see this instead of my all the messages I haven't checked. Does anyone have any thoughts on this? What are you thinking right now? I mean, my thought would be, let's say, so a lot of the figures like Jada and Hasbro are doing, let's say, I mean, Jada I know has upped their stuff to 30 bucks. Hasbro is still right about 25. Now, if you're adding 30% to that, 250, so it would be $7.50 if Hasbro doesn't swallow any of the charges, and it's Hasbro, I highly doubt they'll swallow any of it. But you add 750 to 25 bucks, and you're looking at 32.50. And let's be honest, Hasbro will make it 32.99. That's just the way it is. We know how that works with Hasbro specifically. So, would you guys, are you okay at this point with 30%? Let's say 30% stays in place. Are you okay paying 33 bucks for Hasbro stuff? For say Marvel Legends and Star Wars and GI Joe and all that, keeping in mind if they're swallowing the tariffs or if they're going to charge because of the tariffs that much, then they're not going to improve the figures. They're going to keep them where they're at. You're spending 33 bucks for what you're seeing on shelves right now. What do you think? See, I'm thinking that this tariff situation has been enough to spook many companies into scouting out alternative production avenues other than China. I do too, Star. I think so as well. And we'll see. I mean, the idea is bring manufacturing back to the US, obviously, but at the same time, if people are willing to swallow a 30% increase, manufacturing doesn't have to come back here, but that'll depend on the product, it'll depend on the industry. It's kind of dependent on what I'm asking you guys here, like the $33 Marvel Legends figure as they are now. Would you buy that? And if most people come in and Hasbro sees that their numbers are falling, they might consider bringing a factory over here or really, really stepping it up in Vietnam, which I think is probably more likely, although Vietnam has tariffs as well. So it all just depends on what Hasbro thinks people are willing to swallow and what people actually are willing to swallow. And I know I don't want to, it's not that I want to pick on Hasbro. I love their classified line, I love their Transformers line, both for photos, by the way. I think they're really good, yeah, really good lines for photos. It's just they're the elephant in the room when it comes to the toy industry right now. They're the big guns. So we might as well try and figure out what they're thinking. Alrighty. Spaded one. Isn't Hasbro already charging 32 for that black suit Toby? They are. They are. But let's say I don't know if there's a separate movie license, like more money they have to give to Sony. I'm not necessarily sure how all that stuff works. So let's just stick with, as the example, your basic Marvel Legends that are 25 bucks. I'm just curious. Let's see, it'll be a bit more, I'll be a bit more picky at 32.99, but let's be really honest. They'll go 34.99. You know, I mean, okay, 33 to 35 bucks. What's everybody thinking? Would you do it? Because I tend to think you're probably right, John. My 33, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. Yep, Black Suit Toby, 33 at GameStop. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Star 33, no way. It's not the tariffs, it's the quality or lack of. Low quality does not deserve top dollar. But I mean, when we consider, okay, Star, well, you know what? We both load up on Jada, so never mind. I was going to say, when you consider the fact that you get DLX figures, when you consider the fact that I get MoffX figures and all that, is 33 really our line at what? I mean, is that do we expect high quality for 33 bucks? And I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate, but I would say for what Hasbro delivers, I don't get most of their stuff anyway, with the exception, like I was saying, of Transformers. And I'm rethinking a lot of my GI Joe stuff because of those Action Force hand packs. So I mean, I probably wouldn't dive in anyway, but I'm just curious what everybody else is thinking. I want to get a feel for what's going on. Mo2 Prince, what is going on? Thank you for stopping by, man. The US doesn't have the specialization that China has created over years of production. That is very true, and that's something we have to look at. Even if we started bringing factories over to the US, we've talked about how it would probably be anywhere from 3 to 6 years before a line of action figures, or even just a wave of action figures, would be ready to come out of a manufacturing facility here. So, and what other industries is that the same case with? I just don't know. It's all going to be, I mean, honestly, we know how the world works. It's going to be, where is Hasbro as far as cost, as far as what customers are willing to buy? Does it ultimately make sense for them to try and bring a factory over here? Or does it make more sense for them to keep it in China or move it to Vietnam? It's all just going to come down to what they're willing to push the customer into doing, and what the customer is willing to just say no thank you to. It's an interesting puzzle that we've got going on. Brandon Penson, what's going on, man? What gets me are the flip-flops and or tariff suspensions. Also, Hasbro figures are okay for retail, but no way are they worth 30. Okay, there's one. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. I want to get a pulse. I want to get a feel for what the people are thinking. Harry, I'm mad at all the companies that canceled orders. I lost out on my InArts Dark Knight Rise. Oh no, Harry, who canceled that? Like, oh man, like, we know that a lot of these companies jumped the gun. I mean, we were talking about how, yes and no, I shouldn't say that. They had no idea how quickly this would be resolved. If they had known that it would be resolved this quickly, I bet they would have tried to hold out a little longer, but they didn't, and they took the safe way out. I mean, let's be honest, it was safer for them to say, hey, we got to cancel this. It still sucks, and I feel bad for you. So, what company did it? Maybe we can all say, hey, you got to get this back for Harry. Or we gotta go nuts. We gotta throw down. I'll spend a bit more time looking for a much better figure. There you go, John. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for letting me know. And then I'm wondering, like, I mean, what'll this do to the already higher price lines like MoffX? How crazy? I mean, they've been creeping up anyway. So what are we looking at if they get hit with a 30% tariff? It's their quality. Are they gonna? So there's two different ways toy companies are handling this stuff, right? Hasbro is trying to keep the majority of their legends at 25 bucks. They're just objectively making them worse than they used to be, instead of trying to keep them at the same quality and raising the prices. MoffX is keeping them the same as they are, trying to improve on articulation where they can and making some pretty sweet figures. But because of that, they keep raising the prices as well, based on quality, based on pricing, and based on tariffs. So they're going to really start moving up quite a bit. Hasbro, on the other hand, keeping it at 25, but the figures are getting worse. So I'm just curious. I'm wondering what's up with all this. Star, probably depends on where a collector's heart is. If you love a character, then you'll pay almost any price. That is true, Star. But when you're talking when you're talking a line like Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series, and again, it's not that I'm picking on Hasbro, it's just that they're the big toy company, right? Then let's say you love Iron Man. You're going to be set with Iron Man, but Hasbro cannot live, or Marvel Legends cannot live on Iron Man alone, or Wolverine, or Spider Man, or whatever. Let's say you're somebody that loves Rock Python. You picked up the Rock Python big figure, and now you're done with Legends. I mean, you're right that people will spend whatever for a character they love, and it's the one thing that we have to say, okay, maybe McFarlane did okay with his DC Multiverse Batman figures, but is it enough to keep the line strong? Like, I think Hasbro counts on people loading up and trying to keep building out their Marvel Legends collections to be huge and their Black Series collections to be huge. And this will slow that down unless quality steps up. And my gut is quality won't step up and the prices will go up. Paul, thank you, sir. Much appreciated as always, Paul. Saying hi to the people. Hello to the family. We love your art. Spaded one. My thing with Hasbro is anything I want from them is done better by other companies. Marvel, Star Wars, etc. I'll have Mopx and Mezco alternatives, and I'd rather throw money in that hole instead. I am with you, Spaded one. I would disagree on GI Joe to some extent and Transformers to some extent, but that's just because Mofex and Mezco don't make Transformers. But Mezco does do some GI Joes. I'm still on the fence about a couple of those. So we shall see. But I do fully agree with you when it comes to Star Wars and Marvel. As of late, I've been collecting more imports, and it's at the point where I'm considering getting rid of what Marvel Legends I do have. Ah, Brandon, that's a switch I made years ago. Like years, I make it sound like this was 20 years ago. Probably about, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I made the decision to get rid of my Marvel Legends stuff, and I focused more on things that I just really loved, on individual figures I really loved, like things from Mofex, things from Jada, individual classified stuff, individual NECA like turtle stuff, just a lot of more. I mean, some stuff looks more complete than others. A lot of individual figures. Like today, I just ordered the Tick from Big Bad Workshop because Spoon. I mean, I need the Tick, but yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking along the lines that you are, where okay, let's get rid of some of this stuff, let's get rid of the legends. And if you're thinking this, Brandon, thinking about, well, since you are collecting more imports, getting more into the higher end stuff that maybe works better for me, like for me when it comes to photography, imports are almost, I would say, always better than what Hasbro puts out, except again they do pretty well with classified. Sci-fi 90 days is perfect. It really helps me out with my 90-day fiance. The upkeep alone for her feet is high enough, but worth it. Again, I'm normal. And this is science. This is fair. Sci-fi, we need a lab coat. And I think we're going to need an Einstein wig going on. I think that's key. We want a white lab coat. If you're going to Novi, if you're going to the Comic Con on Friday, I expect to see you there in a lab coat and an Einstein wig. That's basically what it is. I don't know why. It was Bombasby. Oh, Harry, that sucks. Bombasby was one of the few that actually had that stuff, as far as I remember. And I don't know that we can do anything with them. Hopefully what this will do is get these people to go back and order up quantities again and help out people that tried to get them. Ouch. Ouch. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Ugh. It was painful. You had to assume that the tariff situation wasn't going to be fixed quickly, given the absolutely batshit crazy stupidity it was based on. I don't know that I would say it's based on stupidity. I was looking up today what the US, so I don't know that tariffs are the right call, right? But I was looking at what the US taxpayer has paid out, what we paid out in 2024. And taxpayers just to the federal government spent over $4 trillion. Tourism was two something trillion. So we got some money from other countries, from people coming into the country and all that. And we printed was it 100 and some $billion last year? I can't remember. But every time we print money, we make our citizens a little poorer. And then the only other ways we make money are by tourism. Anyway, and correct me if I'm wrong. Help me out here, guys. I could be way off here. Our tourism and paying taxes. So we continue printing money, we keep making the citizens poorer, and we keep taxing more because we need more stuff, which is also making the citizens poorer. It's unsustainable. So I don't know if tariffs were the right call, but I do know that looking at it as we need to find a way to bring in more money that isn't going to impact our citizens so hard is probably what we need to do. Now, obviously, there's always unintended consequences with something like that. So that's probably part of why it went so low compared to the 145. Like, just I look at the I'm always looking at the 30,000 foot view. I don't get into blue versus red and all that stuff. Like, I've lived in a very red area. And if you're very red, you have no imagination and you lead to little angry dictators in World War II Germany. That's if you're completely red. If you're completely blue, you have no sense and you lead to these crazy dictators named Stalin. So, like, I see the extremes of both ends. That's why I'm pretty firmly in the middle, because you need to be firmly in the middle so that everything kind of works. It moves forward, but not to our detriment, or like it actually is able to move forward. Like, let's face it, if red had their way, we'd still be getting chiseling minerals from rocks. And if blue had their way, we basically just lock ourselves in our homes and never leave. So there's a lot of craziness with both of them, and I just look at it and I take that huge view and I'm like, we just need to make more money for the US. So I don't think the basis for the tariffs were wrong, but I do wonder if the tariffs were actually the right way to go about making it happen. See, John, I couldn't say logic, even with quotes, as it was so far from logic, it defies description. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Rec ship 29.99 is my price limit for classified. If it does indeed go above that, my priority list dwindles quickly, and most troop builders will be left off that list until they go on sale. See, that's not a bad plan either, Rec ship. I'm still considering getting some of those Vipers. Ah, let's see here. Star, why not? Disney's been lying on Iron Man or living on Iron Man for years. That's fair. That's fair. They're even making him Doctor Doom. Oh boy. Sci-Fi CT Toys put out a letter stating that if you ordered anything with the inflated tariff charge, cancel it and reorder for normal price. If it's already shipped, let them know to get a refund for it. That's awesome. All right, guys. So I'm not the biggest fan of CT Toys because they basically steal molds, but that's the right way to handle things. So if you've got anything from CT Toys, this is the way. Brandon, awesome. All righty. Harry, what have you? CD Toys Spider Punk has shipped, so that's good. I was unaware of such things. Let's see. What's up, Skew? Good to see you, sir. Sci-fi. So many third party companies are doing Transformers. One just finished the individual figures that make up Abominus last week. I know. I'm trying to stick to Hasbro because if I went third party, I would be robbed. It would be horrible. All right, let's see. The last of the Time Lords is here. Welcome, Anton. Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Spaded one. I had maybe 5 Legend Spider-Man figs going into the new year. Got a Moffat Spidey in January, and I posed that thing more in 2 weeks than all 5 of those Legends in total combined. Yep, that's what Moffats will do to you. It turns you into an action figure snob. Whew. All right, what have you, Anton? Plastic is manufactured in China and they will pay workers to work there for very cheap and they just want to make a lot of money so they don't have to work at factories anymore. We'll see what goes on there, man. Like the wages for Chinese workers, for factory workers, has been going up substantially. That's part of why everybody says that the cost of all this is more money. So, will the Chinese workers be happy if suddenly China's like, well, all right, guys, it was fun while it lasted, but now you guys don't get as much money? It'll be interesting. This has nothing to do with parties. The tariffs had nothing to do with actual economics. So explain, John. I'm curious about that. Because I am all for learning. I need to drop my 302 TFs. Too much money. Of course, the 2007 lineup is in the queue. I've forgotten how much I enjoyed Robotech, Unix Square, Sentinel. Damn it! I'm screwed. Oh, yeah. Sentinel. I'm curious about Sentinel. Everybody says how great they are. Woohoo! John, and firmly in the middle is called the gray fallacy. You assume if red says something and blue says something else, that the middle is the correct. No, just from a 30,000 foot view and what we've seen in the past, based on when you take blue to extremes and when you take red to extremes, that's what I look at. Like if you go, like I've lived in an area like Ann Arbor is way blue and the state of Michigan is very blue. So what do we have here that makes no sense? We have bike lanes that were enforced by the states as far as bicycle lanes in an area that is cold about 8 months out of the year. So what it did was it removed a lot of parking meters and things that individual cities were able to make money on. And when people on bicycles travel into downtown areas, who knows if they're actually spending money? You don't know because they don't have to pay anything in meter fees and all that. So that's more along the lines of what I'm talking about. In red areas, like right now, I'm in Jackson. They keep saying, "Well, we're bringing in young people and all that." No, you're not. This population continues to get older and older because it has no imagination. So it's not that I'm looking at it and saying the answer is the middle. I do believe the answer is you need to mix red with blue or you're going to self destruct. Like they both have to have a say. And like I said, it's just looking at the extremes historically. I don't like either extreme. Let's see. Absolutely. I was already becoming more selective with my purchases, and that's including imports. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's see. What have we? John, it's often skewed to one side or the other. It is. It is. And that's why it's good or bad, it's just kind of you take the good with the bad. Ideally, you don't live in an area that's all blue or all red. You live in a nice mix. But that's not usually the case. People tend to want to go where other people are like them. And there are no middle of the road places, so I'm lost. I'm a nomad wherever I go. John, for all our sanity, that's all I had to say about tariffs. No, that's okay. That's okay. I would propose what are other ways. I mean, like I said, I don't know that tariffs are the right way, but I know if we look at the fact that right now the way that we do money is unsustainable for our population, we need to bring in more money. What are other ways? That's all I'm asking. Like I said, I don't know enough about the tariff situation and all that. I'm just curious if there's an alternative, because if not, we just continue our downslide. We just either speed it up or slow it down. Anton, probably the Chinese want our money, so that's probably why they agreed to this slowdown with the tariffs. It's a little of both, I think, Anton. I think we need the stuff that China makes, and China wants our money. I think China needs our money. We need the stuff they make. That's why it dropped so significantly. Sci-fi. If I'm able to make it to Comic-Con, I'll wear a Rick Sanchez wig and coat, since I have a life-size replica of his portal gun. Wubba dub dub. What? Man, I need to be watching these things. Is that Rick and Morty? Do I not know stuff? Star, every time I remember how much I enjoyed insert program of choice here, it just means more needless cost for my bank account. Where does this end? I got nothing, man. I got nothing. Anton, did anyone see the Spider-Man figures that look like the figures from the 97 TV series? I guess they were inspired by what was going on with X-Men. I did not, Anton. I totally missed those, but we'll get into that here in a little bit, because we do need to talk figures. Spaded one, hear me out. Mezco, the Fonz. They can reuse the Gomez motorcycle. Yes. And he needs to come with a shark. Fonz needs to come with a shark. This is all I'm saying. Does anybody know the plot of the new Jurassic World movie? They have not been promoting it. Ooh, that's frightening. I do not know, Anton. I kind of stay away from a lot of that stuff. Ghost Tab, while this tariff break is nice, I need to see the tariff cost deleted from wholesalers before I start buying again. Ghost Tab, that is not a bad plan. Like, I ordered the tick with the thing saying, hey, tariffs might still be in play here. I'm like, well, hopefully not too bad by the time it comes in. Hello again there, Ghost Tab. Thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. Sci-fi. The tariffs are a cash grab based off of Lex Luthor's California real estate scheme from Superman the movie. At least that's what Miss Teschmacher told me. Never listen to Otis. He's a moron. This is fair. This is fair. Star Anton, I think it has to do with gaining some kind of fluid from 3 dinos in order to create some kind of medication. Doesn't really matter. Not like anyone's going to be able to afford it. It's fair. And yet Jurassic Park and Jurassic World keep killing it. Like, yeah. That's I don't get it. I haven't seen any in quite some time, but people say that they're not great, but they still make plenty of money. Harry, political leaders do what's good for the most people. Politicians will do or say anything to get reelected. That is beyond true. And in theory, they do what's good for the most people. I don't always think that's correct. I don't always think that's accurate. But it's an interesting, they should do that. Politicians are basically marketers. It's just some are better at it than others. Sci-fi, yes, that's Rick and Morty. Woohoo! Average nerd. I'm going average nerd on that one. All right, Brandon, jumping the shark. See, he needs a shark. Anton, yes, Rick and Morty. That was a good show. It's got a little weird as seasons have gone on. That's okay. I can handle weird. I indeed am weird. Spaded one. From what I can tell with the new Jurassic World trailer, they genetically engineer a Rancor from Star Wars. Oh, that's better than the HasLab could do. I win. I got nothing there. That was actually a reach. What am I doing? Maybe that's what happens. They genetically engineer a Rancor, and it's the unproduced Rancor prototype from the Star Wars HasLab, complete with cardboard backdrop and 3D printed skulls. Star, I wouldn't mind moving to Japan for a while. That place looks like real life cyberpunk. Awesome. Robots that wait on you at restaurants. Sign me up. Dude, that some of that stuff's freaky, but I'm with you. It would be cool to go over there and just see what's going on. Tragic. What is up, Dave and chat? What's going on, Tragic? Good to see you, sir. And thanks for the information. I didn't know that. Good. Tragic. Let's see. I'm looking forward to this little tariff break. This is a good sign to come. Yeah, now all the YouTube videos won't be about, well, they still will be. People will still go for the clickbait. I wanted to at least hold off until we had something like this. Sci-fi Jurassic Park formula, Jurassic Park formula. A new lab has been discovered on yet another island. They've genetically modified the dinosaurs to be the peak of the species, and now they've broken loose. That is pretty accurate, isn't it? All right, so let's end this here. And let me go. I want to talk a little bit. There are two things I want to cover here when it comes to the Patreon. One of which is something that needs to get solved. But first, let's look at this. If there's anyone new checking out today's stream, then you can go to the Toypixx Patreon and you can download 100 backgrounds for action figure photography totally free. You don't need to be a member. Nothing you have to do. Just head over there and grab it. If you are looking to grab it, then you can also just click the link in the video description on YouTube. It's right there. So you're good to go. Now, for all of you who are Patreon members, anybody in any tier, whether it's free or 3 or 5 or the $10 tier, we have a problem. We voted for April's winner when it comes to the photo entries, and we got we got nothing. We got these 3 that tied. So I have opened this up to everyone on Patreon to vote on which of these 3 they think should win the April contest. Now you have until this Wednesday at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time to vote. After that, hopefully, we'll get a winner out of this, because the winner of this is patiently awaiting their Fei Long with purple pants. So there is that. That needs to happen. So if you are on Patreon, whether you're a free member, whether you're a paying member, go vote on this bad boy. I need to be able to send this out, and I need to be able to start May's Patreon photo contest. And I kind of want to get this handled first so people don't get confused with a couple things going on. So please vote. Yes, that's right. I'm begging you. That's what I've got as far as Patreon is concerned. So let's log out of here. And now, 'tis just I. Yep. Now 'tis just I. Star, my boss is from New York, and one time we were talking about the mafia. He said they're not gone. They just all went to Washington and became politicians. People moved to Washington to steal. Yeah. I think, I'm not sure this is, you know what? I won't even say it because I don't think it's accurate. I don't know that it's accurate. I do know that George Washington didn't want more than 2 terms. So it feels like he was that guy that, you know how you always say the people who want power shouldn't have power? It feels like George Washington was maybe at least the right guy at that time to be president, but I don't know about anybody since. And that's written by historians that we all know maybe one at the time. So who knows if it's even accurate? But one thing that does seem true is the best people are the ones that don't want to be in power. But yeah, it's all over the place. Who knows? Now is the perfect time for that Mac and Me remake. Woo! I got nothing on Mac and Me. I know Mac is he an alien? I can picture Mac, but I can't remember. I don't know that I ever saw the movie. All right. What have we? Sci-fi loose collectors are making Die Hard. What? And Shaft, not Richard Roundtree from Liefeld's Youngblood comic. Oh, that's right. They're yeah. I saw that. I saw that. Robo was talking about that. I forgot all about it. It's no fun. It's no good. John, sci-fi. I had almost forgotten about well, hold on, let me start that over. I had almost forgotten about Youngblood. They look okay, but almost no chance of me getting them. Yeah, I'm probably there. I don't know that I even picked up a Youngblood comic. Now I recognized them when I saw them because Image, and I was all about Image way back when, but I was more about Jim Lee than McFarlane or Liefeld, so I was all about the Wildcats. I loaded up on that stuff. All right, let me close this out. Hang on, I know you're just looking at me. I'm closing out the X. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is there? Now, I was trying to find a lot of figures that maybe went up in the 112 scale range, and I wasn't seeing a whole lot. I wanted to find stuff. I'm on BBTS right now. I know, what is it? Didn't 5K Toys put out something basically saying, hey, our prices are back to normal? Now that I clicked on BBTS, did anybody see that at all? Because I'm looking here and there's just not that much. This is what Sci Fi was talking about with the Four Horsemen, talking about the retailer wave stuff. Ooh. And I am back here. Apologies. Again, guess what? Not my fault, but I do not enjoy that StreamYard keeps finding a way to kick me off. I don't think I don't think this is probably Jackson, Michigan being like, hey, we can't figure out Wi-Fi around here. I'm kidding. That's not nice. Be cool, Jackson. Let's see. All right, I'm back. And I know we were just looking at BBTS, but I closed out that window in hopes that that would help this come back. Interested in Tron Ares, Jurassic World Rebirth, Primitive War, excited for the next Godzilla in the works. Nice. All right, hang on. Let me try to bring up Big Bad Toy Store again. Let's see here. Wait, why do I need my account? I don't need my account. All right. Big Bad Toy Store is back up. Let's click this bad boy. And let's go here now. Okay, we have all the things. All the things. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, new arrivals at BBTS. If you don't have Tony the Tiger yet, he is in stock. Now that's $5 more than you can find him at Target, if you can find him at Target. But I figured I should let you all know. All right, let's see how long it takes me to find where everybody's like, Dave's gone. Anyone hear anything about when the next Netflix cyberpunk anime is due out? Are they supposed to do another one, Star? I'm not even sure. I haven't paid that much attention. Oh, yep, I know. And it wasn't even my fault. See, huge time difference, so I don't think so. See, this is so sad that this died a little bit. My dessert and Dave froze more from me. How considerate. Not my fault, John. Not my fault. Wi-Fi kicked me off. But I'm back. I'm back. David's really studying that page with intensity. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's intensity going on, trying to figure things out. And, ladies and gents, this time, I remember Harry asking, do I get really ticked off when it comes to, like, do I just swear and get mad when it comes to things like that happening? I was irritated, but I didn't swear and get mad. I was just looking at the computer and being like, oh, come on. Come on, man. Come on. But yeah, maybe I'm learning. Maybe, probably not. What's up, Daves? Yep. I'm yeah. Hi. Don't worry, I'm back. We're good now. Let's see here. Ghost tab. We'll see it right away. Hopefully this is I'm coming to the part where I'm back. I'm back. Dave is gone. Dave's down. No, I'm alive. I'm alive, baby. Goes to have stream got him. Stream doesn't know about the 90-day pause. That's true. The StreamYard is trying to charge me an extra 145%. I am not happy. Star, whatever you found must be pretty great for him to bail like that. I mean, there are a few things I could think of where I'd be like, oh, peace, but not too many. Sci-fi, let's see, dead air, the death knell of radio and talk shows. Where's the elevator music, Dave? Oh man, I can get like AI music. That would be the worst AI music ever. Is tell it I want AI elevator music from like I don't know 1800s, and then when things die, just see if that'll play. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Spaded one. We're back. And now you gotta tell me where that's from. Let's see. Still here. Still here. Yep. I is tragic. Let's see. That was close. Too close. No. We survived. We survived. But now I'm really thinking, man, I got to get that Wi-Fi over at my office. This might not be working out too well. Skew, that was just Stabby hating while we're celebrating. That's true. Stabby is an angry wallet, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a shirt I have to design. I need to design a Mr. Stabby shirt. Like, but I have to give it a phrase that will resonate with people. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything. The Supernova teaser is out. Not big into Legendary Monsterverse, but still looks fun. I might need to know more. I must know more. Perhaps we should. Right. True, Brandon. True. Let's see. Tony is in my pile of loot. Heck yeah, John. Congrats, man. Tony is rad. That Tony is the first $25 figure I've ever seen with 6 hands and other accessories. I know. It was ridiculous. I didn't know when I picked him up. I just saw it and I just grabbed it and went. Like I didn't even open the box. So when I got him back to the office, I opened him up and I'm going, holy crap, this is amazing. Star, yes, they announced they were doing a new one a while ago. Oh, I did not know that, Star. I will be stoked to see what they do with Cyberpunk on Netflix. I would rather they didn't do Transformers on Netflix again, but Cyberpunk, yes, please. Anton, are you still having problems with Tony the Tiger? I hope not, because he's awesome. I'm good. I got mine, but those who can't find him, I just wanted to point out that he is in stock at BBTS right now. I'm very lucky. I have a Target literally within walking distance. I keep finding out what's within walking distance of my office. I round tripped to Qdoba today, picking up a burrito bowl in 17 minutes, just walking there and walking back. Like, I'm in an area that's almost like a little tiny city that's sort of walkable if you can just cross one road, because I'm near a grocery store, a Kroger. I am very near Ollie's. I have Target very close, a Five Below insanely close. I have a Ross, a TJ Maxx, Best Buy. I could walk to Planet Fitness if I ever decided to get a membership. Like, it's my office is in a really cool spot. I'm pretty lucky. One day I might do a live stream where I'm just walking around the neighborhood, so to speak. While you're on BBTS, Dave, Mezco Destro is 50% off. I know, but here's what had to happen today. So, actually, two things have happened recently. I had to get an oil change. And for those who were unaware, oil changes have gone up significantly. Plus, they showed me my cabin air filter, which had to be gotten because you guys ever go to get your oil changed or you're changing out your own filter and you pull it and there's leaves all in it? Yeah, that was my cabin air filter. So I had to get that replaced. I had to get my oil changed. And for those two things, and with a $15 discount, it was $127. And I somehow, ladies and gentlemen, this is almost miraculous. Let me know if you've done this. I somehow broke my OtterBox for my cell phone. So I also had to order a new OtterBox for this bad boy, because as careful as I am with my action figures, I am not so careful with the old cell phone. So that was another 20 bucks. So a little bit of my toy budget got eaten into, sadly. But I do keep looking at Mezco. I don't know that I'll go G.I. Joe, but I do like the look of that Destro. We'll see what happens. What did you see on the other side, Dave? It was, well, it was just blackness. Like, I didn't see anything. There was no light. There were no stars. There was nothing. There were flames in kind of way in the background, but overall it was really dark. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. I'm thinking heaven. Let's see. They should do Rocky and Bullwinkle as well. Oh, Anton, I would love it if they did that. Oh, I need it all. Like, Jada needs to do it all at this point, I think. Jada and Mofex, between those two companies, but I know I'm a broken record when I say that. Wow, I've never seen a broken OtterBox. This show is so cutting edge. See, that's right, Star. I broke an OtterBox. That's how good I am. That's how tough I am, ladies and gentlemen. I just sat there and I bent it with my bare hands without hurting my phone. That's how. That's not true. I just dropped it about a zillion too many times. Like, I'll grab my phone. This is how careful I am. I'll just flip it in the air and catch it. Flip it in the air and catch it, and I'll just be doing it mindlessly. Every once in a while, I don't catch it. That's probably how you break an OtterBox. Star, I Want, Jada, Tom Slick, George of the Jungle, Danger Mouse, so many more. I don't know Tom Slick. I got the others covered, but I don't know that one. Ooh, okay, so that's what we've got here. What other figures have you guys noticed? I wanted to point out that Tony was in stock, and I'll show you real quick just because I'm sure you guys know about this, but this is what today's pre order was. Ladies and gentlemen, Spoon, 40 bucks, but the Tick is kind of like my Mofex Batman. I've wanted a good figure of the Tick for so long, and this is the first time I've seen one, so I had to order this. Yeah, I'm really stoked about this. So I thought I'd pull this up while you guys figured out what there is that I may have been missing recently. I needs to know. Ah, darn. I need to guzzle louder maybe when I take a swig. Let me see here, and I'll look around too. I can't leave this homework totally up to you guys after all. I should probably prepare once in a while. I'm going to go to 5K Toys because I have not been to that site in forever, and I need to do that. I like their stuff a lot. Okay, featured new pre-orders. What have we? What are some new featured pre-orders on 5K toys that we need to look at? And what's some stuff on BBTS that you guys think we need to look at? Or what's other stuff we need to look at? Tom Slick, the race car driver who's always reforming his car. Let's see, the Thunderbolt grease slapper. What? Into some new form for a new kind of race class? Yeah, I lose, Star. I lose. I remember, what was the kid that turned into a car? Like Teen something? Was it Teen Racer? Is that right? Like it was a kid that basically morphed into a red sports car. I know that one, but I'm not sure that that's Hanna-Barbera or Rankin Bass or any of that stuff. So I don't know. That's the closest I'm coming to what you're talking about. But I know what you're talking about is not that. Anton, the ticket is on. The Tick is awesome. What a terrific television series called Funny. Probably one of the funniest cartoons on Fox Kids. Man, and I was at the right age where, and I'd been reading comics long enough where I knew when it was just totally lampooning comics, and I thought it was hilarious. My mom would try and watch it, and she never knew why I thought it was so funny. She never quite got it. But let's face it, that's because she didn't know comics like I did. Makes sense. Anton, I had a buddy and he would laugh so loud at the Tick that I had to turn up the sound of the volume just to hear the jokes. See, I would probably be that buddy. Be like, ah, yes, Turbo Teen. There it is, John. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yep. Yes, I am stoked to hear such things. Ooh, Ruby Spears. Okay, okay, that was better. Yeah, I said Rankin Bass, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. Thank you, sir. Star. All I can think is Sideswipe. Not really a kid, more like an alien. hmm. I may need to check some of that out. I am woefully horrible at some of this stuff. Turbo Teen, he was a guy who morphed into a car. Yep, okay, okay. Now I'm there. Now you guys have learned me. Anton, Ruby Spears, they were a company that worked with Hanna-Barbera. Yep, I like I said, as soon as I said Rankin Bass, I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. I said something bad. Bad nerd, duh. John, I've seen clips recently. It was not good, but I was a kid and I ate it up. No, Spoon. And I think the reason that I liked it so much was Sewer Urchin, or part of the reason why I liked it so much was Sewer Urchin, because I could do that voice really well. Yeah. The Tick comic was far funnier than the TV series. I never had the Tick comic. I might have to go back and try and get that. I thought that the cartoon was a lot funnier than the live action one. I did try watching both of those. Let's see, Ninja Hedge Forever. Ooh, he must have been in the comic. Skew Batmanuel and Mario Star Road sounding ringtone. My fave end credits joke from the animated series. I remember Mario Star Road sounding ringtone. I gotta figure that out. Like, as in, when you say Mario Star, are you talking like the star that jumped around and made Mario fast and the music that played there? Like, I remember Batmanuel, but that was more, Batmanuel was, he was the show, right? He was the live action show. Deflator Mouse was the animated series, I think. Now I'm totally confused and I might need to go back and watch. Oh no, not the Tick. I have some of that on DDDF or DVD. I meant Turbo Teen. Ooh, oh boy. I like I said, John, I vaguely remembered it. I don't think I never went back to watch it though. But the Tick, Spoon, you sir, are a gentleman and a scholar for having that out there. Skew, Deflator Mouse was cool too. It was a cell phone music ringtone. Nice. I did not know. Clearly, I need to learn things. You guys are learning me real nice. Star, didn't June say that he prefers to do figs from animation? I wonder if he prefers them to figs from video games. I'm partial to video game figs. I mean, I feel like animation in video games are kind of close. You have to be, I think you have to take, if you're taking Street Fighter 2 characters, you have to take a few more liberties unless you're studying like the actual concept art, or I guess the art of the characters themselves. Like like probably the books when people were coming up with the designs of the characters, because once they make it into the video game, they are a little pixely. They're not so bad. What was that? Was Street Fighter 2, was that Nintendo? That was the, what was the 16-bit? Like it went from the 8-bit Super Nintendo. Street Fighter 2 I think was Super Nintendo, right? Or am I off? Because I remember they looked pretty good for the time, but when you look at them today, they were still pretty pixely. So you would take, I would think, liberties to make them have to skew more cartoonish. Like I can see where there would be differences, but I feel like they're really close stylistically. Maybe not, though. I mean, it would depend on the video game and the cartoons, I suppose. Skew, not sure live or animated. Just remember it was Batman Web. Oh, I can picture Batman Web. Anton, Deflator Mouse Man, an American Made, Sewer Urchin, Cheerbase. Oh yeah, Cheerbase Chippendale. Oh yeah, I need to go. Oh man, now I need to go back. Gotta go back. Woohoo! All right, thanks, Skew. I was trying to figure it out. It took me far too long, and I had a Super Nintendo. So yeah, sadness all around. All right, what have we? Let's keep looking here. You all know what I pre-ordered. What I like, let's see. Is anybody? Nah, I'm not going to click the black and white turtle stuff. I like the NECA turtle stuff, but NECA didn't do so well in our top lists of photogenic figures. So let's just keep moving away from them. Let's instead look at what we've got from Monster Force here. Some of these they've been talking about quite a bit. This eraser. Oh, I do like this eraser quite a bit. I like the Monster Force stuff a lot, guys. I mean, they're pricey, but they come with so much and they're so cool. Look at that. I mean, the sculpt work is great. The figures feel really good. If you don't have a Monster Force figure yet, just pick up one because the feel is fantastic. I still owe Tragic for getting me that one because it turned me into somebody that needed much more Monster Force stuff. Like he got me the Declan Van Helsing, and that figure's amazing. So yeah, there's a lot of very cool stuff when it comes to Monster Force. But these are still a pre-order. I like seeing kind of what's in stock. So let's go see. That's all Monster Force. And there is probably some Monster Force stuff in stock. All right, let's see here. What do we have? Any of this stuff? 1/6 scale. Not really. Let's do 1/12 scale. My bad. Oh, wait a sec. Biblical Adventures have arrived at BBTS. And I think we talked about these in the past. Did anybody load up on a bunch of these? I think they look really cool. I really like the angel figures, actually. Let's see here. I mean, the demons too. I know, I'm horrible, horrible people. Here we go. Like, I think the angels, there's just something really cool about them. Not cool enough for me to load up on. I'm just not this guy that's going to get some biblical adventure figures, but I still think they look really good. But these are in stock as well. So if you are somebody that gets into this stuff, load up because they've got them. Huh. And they've got a lot, actually. I didn't know that this Kickstarter had so much stuff. Blank body. I want to see this blank body. Oh, wait a sec. Tabernacle set. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I think we all know why this sold out. We are looking at the Ark of the Covenant. So people loaded up. I bet more people bought this for their Indiana Jones collection than they did anything else. Just because, why not? Tragic. It was my pleasure. I knew you'd take awesome pics with him. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. He's actually going up tomorrow. I took a pic of him over the weekend that I was pretty excited about. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow me on X and you know about the prompt pictures, here's something for the live stream. Tomorrow night's prompt, your action figures from a worm's eye view. So looking at them from below. So there you go. That's tomorrow night's prompt. Skew, yep, biblical adventures. Got one on the way. Nice, Skew, nice. Oh yeah, Brandon. Star, their Storm Collectibles Gotcha Man Gathering Dust. Wasting away. Come on, Jada, grab that license and show the world how it's done right. Ah, Star, we're on the same page. Jada and Mofex take it all, and we'll just give you guys all the money. And it's easy. It's easy. John, I have the General on pre-order, but I want to pick one of the in-stock figs to take a look at. Oh, hang on, John. Let's get back there here in a minute. See what people are saying about the arc here. Yes, a successful Kickstarter. The biblical adventures, and then we'll head back and we'll see. Because I've got quite a few of the monster forces now. It's been a minute. They're here now. That's so cool. I love that those things got made, actually. I just dig that people get to make their dreams come true with these figures. I have Jesus in my heart, and he is also in my cart. See, now that works. Okay, Skew, gotcha. Thanks. See, I'm looking right now, guys. I'm telling you, this is totally indie. Indie loaded up here. Quite a bit sold out. It was awesome stuff. I don't know how I missed this because I might have picked this up. Oh, and for the record, I really enjoyed Thunderbolts, a solid, fun movie. Yes, there we go. We have another. So that would be Sci-Fi, Anton, John, and myself. We dug Thunderbolts, and I've been somebody that hasn't been digging a lot of Marvel stuff lately. I don't know about you, John, but I was Thunderbolts was really good. It was a fun flick. Plus, it comes with a menorah. Got it. See, it belongs in a museum. See, that's what I'm saying. Skew. Someone suggested Storm do arena. Let's see, sized Gotcha Man. Wait a sec. Hold on. Oh, for Storm Arena. Got it. Let's see, Jada? What's up? Like Star said. I mean, Jada and Storm, they're going to be in competition. We're going to see how this plays out. This could be interesting. There's still a lot up there to get through. All right, let's get through a couple more of these. Star Skew, I take any Gotcha Man that Jada does. Wouldn't have to ask twice. That's what's up. Jada be like that. Skew, this was a later add-on. We talked about this pretty sure, but this was later in the campaign, Dave. You would have put it in a museum. Facts, Skew, facts. It would have just, you know what, that's true. I would have collected it, I would have left it in its box, and put together a huge warehouse dio. Is there any Fantastic Four action figures on the way for the new movie? I haven't seen any. Marvel Legends teased some, but I don't know. Did they show them beyond like that picture of the four arms, guys? Skew, that Gotcha Man that Storm did just wasn't good. Oh no. Evening, Pixelated. What is going on, man? Thank you for stopping in. All right, let's get one more here, and then I'm going to jump to Monster Force. Let's see if we can help John. I think Marvel Legends is doing Fantastic Four. Yep, that's what. I just don't know that they've shown the full figures yet. And I don't know if they have a stream plan to show them or not. But yeah, they're doing those. I believe Mezco, I think they put theirs up again, but that's like a $400 set. All right, hang on. I want to go to, let's go to Monster Force and let's see if we can help John spend some money. Whoop. Monster Force, Operation Monster Force, whatever. All right. Let's see. I was hoping it would say something like, all right, go to, okay, hold on. Let's just go and find some green here. Instant. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay, the Forgotten King, I think, is cool, but he's so white. Like, and don't get me wrong, the details that you see when you light him up really nicely are amazing. They sculpted him incredibly well, but that would not be the figure that I recommend to test out the line. Now, one I would recommend, whoa, all those are sold out, huh? Let's see. Killerworks, cool. I would recommend any Sleepwalker. Like if you see a Sleepwalker that you like, and this one's in stock, and this is one that I've been thinking I should order a couple more of because he's got the black uniform, he's got the total evil look going on, sort of a evil WW2 look, if you know what I am saying. So it makes sense if you have like a Captain America figure to throw down with this thing. But yeah, like there, check that out. This Sleepwalker, so they come with so many accessories, John. Let me see. Look at that. It's insane. I mean, they're crazy customizable. I would totally get this if like I would 1000% recommend any Sleepwalker. And right now this one's in stock. So I would consider this if you're kind of trying to dip your toe into Monster Force. Yeah, a Sleepwalker for sure. All right, Star, what have you? Skew Jada would do the whole team. Sold, sold, sold. See, I don't know. I want them to prove that they're going to stick with Cyberpunk. And I don't know that they're selling well enough. It's all money, money, money. It's how the world works. We know these things. I'll just add in my other moment about my other moment about Thunderbolts that it was mostly about people, and I love the way they handled the Sentry character. I thought, wow, that's a complicated character. It was. I mean, I think I agree with you, Anton. I love the way they handled him. I love the way they handled him and the relationship that what I don't know if I should call her Black Widow or Yelena at this point, but I guess everybody would know her more as Yelena. But I love the way that that chemistry ended up building up in the movie too. Skew Star, I heard y'all. I skipped until better option with a full team is available. More 112, not too dang tall. We don't want Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Brothers of Destruction. Gotcha, man, do we? Oh no, I guess Storm did those. Little large, huh? Mr. Matson Van Helsing is awesome. Yep, he is for sure awesome. We were just trying to find something in stock. But yeah, he is. He's the first one that I got from Tragic. And I was like, okay, this thing's rad. See, Delta Red. Yep, Delta Reds are pretty cool. I will say I like the look of them. I haven't picked any up yet. Sleepwalkers kind of sold me on needing to get them all, but I just haven't gotten any of those just yet. Skew Raider, no way, Jada, please give me those characters that I fell in love with as a kid. Do that, and my bank account is all yours. Careful, Star. Careful what you wish for. You bet, John. That one, I mean, 1000%. I love those figures. Anything that says Sleepwalker, I think you'll have fun with. Starfax was just clowning the huge scale. They need to do arena sized and do something like Gotcha Man right. Gotta push buttons. All right, guys, let's do this for another, what do we got? Another 6 minutes. We'll go till 8:30 tonight. I think we've answered kind of what we're thinking as far as the tariffs are concerned. And hopefully it all gets resolved in a way that doesn't end up breaking our wallets, but it does seem much better than it did at the beginning. Tragic. I wanted to get more Delta Reds, but sold out, and I'm still on hiatus on collecting, but I'll spring for 4 more. Nice, Tragic. The hiatus, man. Is that, I mean, obviously that's because of the move. How close are you? Like, what's your deadline? What do you have? Like, what do you have in your head as far as when you'd like to have everything done by? That would be my curiosity. I'm still actually paying for my apartment, which kind of sucks because I haven't really lived there in several months, but I couldn't get out of the lease without finding somebody to get it. And to be honest, nobody wants to pay that for an apartment. Like right now, especially nobody in my age crew wants to pay that for an apartment. So, yeah, there was no way I was going to find somebody that was going to make that happen. I hate is nice actually. That's why the tick comes out next year. All right. Well, I'm still pushing the buttons. Sleepwalker could also join Cobra. That's true. That's true. They haven't done a blue Sleepwalker yet, but they did do a blue Delta Red. And that thing I thought about would be like a really cool heavy weapons trooper for Cobra. Hey, if you do a huge scale, Brick wants some done once, yeah, one done right. Hmm. Must learn. Storm Gotcha Man. Star. What have we? You're scaring me, Dave. Did you hear something about Jada Edge Runners not continuing? I didn't hear anything, Star. I just, people aren't talking about those like they are the other things. And so I'm just curious. I have no knowledge. It's just kind of where's the interest? Is interest high enough to keep that line going? And I don't know. I don't know. I hope it is because I very much love the look of those figures. I just we keep saying because of Street Fighter 2, we keep just kind of taking it for granted that Jada's going to finish every line. And if those lines aren't selling, they can't do that. So I'm just always it's not that I'm on the fence, it's that I'm cautiously optimistic instead of just straight up saying, "Oh yeah, Jada started this line, so they're totally going to finish it." We don't know because we don't know numbers, but I am hoping they do. Oh, Skew Anton loved the crossover with Monster Force, Classified, and Action Force. Same here. Those three lines together are amazing. Everything else, it's awesome. Facts, Skew. I love the way that those lines work together. Brandon, the last thing I think I pre-ordered was the McFarlane DCU Superman. Can't wait for the movie or figure, at least until the Mofex or Figure Arts one comes. Yeah, Brandon, that will be sweet. I can't wait for that movie. I want that movie. I've told the guys here, and you might have been on one of those streams. I want the Fantastic Four to be good. I need Superman to be good. Like that movie has to do everything we need it to do to be Superman. If Jada Edge Runner stops, I don't know what would become of me. Life is over. It's apocalypse now. See, Star, no, 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 no. It's not apocalypse now. We just don't know. So I would say right now, keep going after, keep holding that light, keep keeping it strong for your Jada Edge Runners. That may have been tariff talk. Please confirm more about Edge Runner Star. No, no, I just don't know. I just don't know. At least two more scheduled, last I heard, unless the news just dropped from Star. We'll see by SDCC. Yeah, Maine and Rebecca are supposed to come. I mean, the previews or the prototypes were shown. So hopefully they'll show up at least. Rebecca cracks me up because she's basically Harley Quinn. Pixelated, to be honest, I don't really need the rest of the Edge Runners. Heresy pixelated. I keyed. Star might be freaking out though. They can't stop. They just can't. It's morally wrong. Now, hang on, Star. Since when has money ever been about morality? But I'm with you. I hope they don't stop. I do think they look incredible. And even if they do stop Edge Runners, that doesn't mean Jada stops. It's all about the popularity of the thing. I hope so. Maine and Rebecca are in the works. So many more to get, though. Yep. Yeah, and I'm with you. I hope they happen. I hope everybody has a great week. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Good night. Good night, Anton. Thanks for stopping in, man. See you Thursday. Let's see. That's not sure after them. See, we just don't know. We're just not 100% on this one. Everyone who, let's see, loves them. Not many have them. See, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know, Like, have they been bought enough to keep that line going? See? All right. Star definitely is continuing the jadedness with these. Oh, whew, okay. Gotta breathe. Just breathe. Oh, dear. What do you got, Sci-Fi? I need the general for Thunderbolt Ross and Carl Weathers. Yes, that is a great figure for those two. All right, guys, that's what we've got this fine evening. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to check out this fine live stream. That you could have done anything with your night. You chose to hang out here, so it's always massively appreciated. Now, until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya.